Mic check and mic check. Is my audio okay? Hindi naman maingay yung external fan ko dito. Sharing yung screen. Hide. Alright. So, I believe dito tayo nagtapos, ano? Ano bang previous slide nito? Yeah, so just a quick reminder lang, we always read the problem lang. Read them carefully. And believe me or not, may mga errors ako nakita dito. Didn't have time to proofread lahat ng equations ko dito because I was busy building yung other modules of 2 or 3 subjects actually. But that's fine. At least ang importante that you recognize yung error during practice. So yun yung importante ng practice. And then of course, list them yung equations nyo properly, tabulate them, diagram. Parehas yung terms. And just like writing a very good essay form, kailangan proper grammar. So meaning, kailangan properly punctuated yung mga equations natin. Numerical value on the left, katabi niya yung unit on the right. And then, para malinis tignan. And then based on the ask, malalaman mo kung ano yung dapat mawawala dun or not. Or alam mo dapat yung end output ka agad. Okay? If not, ang importante dun is you know yung point A and point B. So yung how part, yun yung something you have to figure out on your solution. Okay? So let's try to, ito very basic lang naman. If you know yung answer, uh, please raise your hand ka agad. I'm not gonna require you to show yung screen nyo, pero I hope you have a pen and paper on your end so that you can practice together with me. Okay, actually meron ako animation dito eh, pero normally ginagawa ko is, so very basic lang naman yan, usually convert 2 kph to meters per second. Ang format ko, kahit gaano kasimple or komplikado yung problem, okay, we know we have yung 2 kph. Oh my god, hindi wait lang Let me just modify lang yung pen ko to monitor number 2. Okay, good. Okay, so this is a lot more sensitive na. Wait lang. Burahin ko lang. Erase all ink sides. Erase lang muna to. Okay, good. Pen. Yung blue. Okay, mas maganda yung blue, ano. So, ang ginagawa ko usually, meron akong what? Given. And then, nilagay ko, alam ko naman na meron tayong 2 kilometer per hour. Ano yung as? Usually, nilagay ko as or required. Ako lang to Or sometimes, tindiretso ko. Tapos find conversion kph to meters per second. Pero intuitively, since very basic lang naman siya, is pwede mo siya i-diretso kagad. So, minsan diretso tayo sa solution kasi alam na natin eh. Medyo mabilis lang naman siya eh. Wait lang. And then, save ko lang to. Baba ko to. Okay, good. So, paano siya? Anyone can talk me through kung paano gagawin yung solution? Oh, by the way, hour yan. Hour. So, alam natin na kailangan mawala yung kilometer. So, kailangan niya maging meter. So, nasa baba siya. Denominator. Nag-a-up yung pen ko. So, and 1 kilometer is how many meters ulit, guys?
1,000.
1,000, sir.
Yep.
1,000.
So, yan. And then, obviously, first problem, done. Next problem, okay, hour. So, some of you would do this. Alam nyo yung 1 hour is how many minutes?
60.
60. Yung iba naman sa inyo, yeah, so, oh my God. Wow, wait lang. Wait lang, i-disconnect ko lang ulit to Nag-a-up yung ano ko eh. Okay, good. So, nasan yung pambura ko? And then, eraser. Okay, and then balik tayo dito. Ayaw niya. Gamitin ko yung mouse. Pen ulit. Okay, good. So, siya na medyo pangit yung interaction na ng software eh. Anyway, and then yung 1 minute, ko-convert nyo naman to 60 Wow, sige. What is going on? 60 seconds. Huh. Okay? So, yeah, 1 minute yan, ah. Let's just pretend na 1 minute yan, eh. Okay? So, and then, ano yung magiging sagot natin dyan, guys? Kung nababasa niyo yung, yung ginawa ko kanina. Yung ginawa ko sa module. So, that will be 2,000 over 3,600. So, that would yield you how much? Kaya type nyo na lang. Ayusin ko lang muna to on my end. Kakaroon tayo ng 0.556. Correct. So, let me just, wait lang. Pwede ko bang baguhin yung size ng eraser ko dito? Erase all ink on slide. Okay, so yan. So, pag inano ko yung animation ko, this is a lot better nga naman, ano. Ako, ang version ko, dinerecho ko na kasi it's a lot easier na, okay, alam ko naman na 1 hour is 3,600 seconds, eh. Pero okay rin na alam niyo yung base units, eh. So, cancel. Cancel. And then, eventually, you'll receive, yun nga, 0.556 meters per second. Okay? So, malinis. Dire-diretso, one sentence lang. So, ito, pwede nyo isulat on this side, yung final answer, or pwede rin sa baba. Depende, kasi nagtitipid ako ng space nung time na to, eh, no? So, importante rin yung organization ng equation nyo, especially on writing on a piece of paper, or digital paper for that matter. So, next naman is convert daw into feet per second. Now, ang maganda dito, we know yung 1 feet to meters. Pwede nyo kabisiduhin kaagad. Yung 1 meter is 0.03048 meters. 1 feet is 0.3048 meters. Or, you can use the long way. 1 feet, inches, centimeter, meter. Which is yung una kong ginawa dito. And you'll be surprised if ginawa nyo na basically parang algorithm yun, eh. Okay, paulit-ulit yun ang ginagawa to. What's the quickest way to remember this? Kasi since parating, we're almost using feet, meters, parate. Especially on our calculations, eh. So, ito, ang sagot ko dito is 1.824 feet per second. Pares kami ni Hibler. And, there we go. Questions done so far? Malinaw? Mic check. Okay, good. Yung audio ko naman is nagre-record pala. Mamaya pala wala ang audio to, no? Okay, good. Sige. And then, with this naman, okay, may question ako sa inyo, class. Pag sinabing pounds, so convert the quantities of 300 pounds second and 52 slug per feet cube to appropriate SI units. So, gawa tayo ng gawa tayo ng table ng konti dito. So, 300. So, naka-English siya, no? So, pound second. And then, dito tayo sa slug, 52. Slug feet cube. So, alam natin, sorry, feet cube yan, ah. So, alam natin English to, or yung customary FPS. And, if you could remember, yung mga SI unit, may mga basic quantities tayo, di ba? So sa SI natin, we have yung length, we have yung mass, we have yung time, and then we have also yung force. Pag sinabi nating pounds, anong category siya ng basic quantity under English? Pag sinabing pounds, ano siya? Anyone?
Force.
Very good. Force. So, kasi it's associated with weight, and weight is mass times G, which is kind of familiar with. Medyo weird. Oh no, may sira na yung Gets? Sige, may sira yun dun. Is force times mass is equals to mass times acceleration. Okay, may sobrang ugly niya dyan. This is not good for me. Hindi kaya nasira yung sensor nito. Wait lang guys ah. Let me do some experiment lang ng konti. So far so good naman. Ah. Wait lang ah. Wait lang guys. Eraser. Sobrang weird lang yun ah. Okay, good. So, tama kayo, force. And ano yung SI unit for force? Dito ko na lagay. Weight equals mass times G, which is kind of familiar with force equals mass times acceleration. Okay? So, ano yung unit ng force natin for SI naman?
Newton, sir.
Tama kayo doon. So, ang goal ng 300-pound force para maging appropriate SI unit siya, maging pounds to Newton. Second is base unit na yan. So, okay lang yan. Yan. Next naman, slug is what kind of basic quantity? Is it a mass? Is it force? Is it length? Is it time? What's slug? Slug is English for English unit siya, pero anong klaseng basic quantity siya? Anyone?
Mass.
Correct. So it's a mass. So now we know yung difference, okay? So slug, so ano yung SI unit natin for slug? For mass pala. Kilogram.
Kilogram po.
Alright. And then, of course, may isa pa tayong English dito. Naka-feet cube siya. Obviously, magiging meter cube. Okay. Mukhang kailangan kong i-reset yung software na ito. Anyway, meter cube. It's cube, okay? Alright, meter cube. So, brain ko na yan. Meron akong animation dito eh. Erase all ink on slide. So, let it play out. Okay, medyo mabilis. Let's break it down. So, obviously, alam na natin kung saan tayo patungo. How part. Now, if you recall, alam natin na may shortcut na 1 pound force to Newton. 1 pound to Newton. So, may 1 pound is equal to 4.448 newtons. So, yun yung ginamit natin. Basically, direct multiplication lang. All you have to do is just to cancel out lang yung pound force, which is hindi ko nagawa dito. So, nagka-cancel yan. Cancel yan. Sometimes, nire-represent to us pound force. Pero, intuitively kasi pag pounds is always associated with weight, and weight is a force rin eh. So ito rin minsan pound force yan. So kaya magka-cancel yan. Okay? And then ang matitira sa iyo is Newton, and yung second is already a basic it's always its basic unit. So magiging 1334.4 Newton seconds. Wala naman sinabi kung anong format. So ako ginawa lang namin ni Hilder, ginawa lang namin mas nice lang siya. 1.334 kilonewton seconds eh. Either way, parehas ay correct. Okay? For slug naman, I believe we have a conversion na dito. We know from the table, one slug, I think mas familiar kayo with one slug to pounds. I'm not sure. Pero ako mas komportable with one slug to kilograms, which is 14.59. And dito nyo makikita yung unang error ko. Meron akong unang error dito. Mali yung sinulat ko pero tama yung sagot eh. So, tama yung na-input ko sa calculator. So, yan. One slug is 1459 kilograms. And alam natin is 1 feet equals to 0.3048 meters. So, let it play out. Actually, tama pala yung sinulat ko. Sa isang number pala yan. So, tama naman. Kung mapapansin nyo dito, alam lang natin yung 1 feet to 0.3048. Pero naka-feet cube tayo. So, meaning, i-cube rin natin siya. Just like so. So, yung 1 feet cube is equals to 0.3048 cube. So, you cube both sides lang rin eh. Ang mangyayari na, magka-cancel out yung equations nan. So, yung slug, mawawala. Yung feet cube, mawawala. eh matitira ka ng kilogram and meter cube. Okay? Okay, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Yeah. Or 26 megagrams per meter cube. Pero hindi naman natin ginagamit yun eh. Okay? So far, question done. Kaya balikan ko lang. May question dito? Anyone? Okay, that was fast. Wait lang. Okay, so madali lang, di ba? Okay. Now, dito mo naman, ito exercise lang to about just simplifying them by, canceling yung mga exponents. So, it's an exercise of exponents really and a familiarization with yung mga Greek letters sa metric system. Giga, mega, micro, milli, nano. Usually, yun doon tayo umiikot naman eh. Bira tayo gumamit ng mga femto, peta. Unless we're talking about, normally, narinig ko lang yung mga terms na yun, yung prefixes na yun, when we're talking data. Terabytes of data, mga ganun. Teraflops, mga ganun. Pero for our intensive purposes, especially when it comes to dealing with mechanics and statics, usually we are bound to yun yung common. I'm not saying na yun yung magiging limit, pero just in case you exceed yung prefix na yun beyond yung ninth or yung 12, beyond yung ninth exponent, we're talking about greater amounts of forces na yan. We're talking about great amounts of stresses na yan. It's like more on planetary level, ano? Pero we're talking earthbound problems lang. Earthbound problems. Okay. So, paano to? I'm just gonna play out lang yung animation ko dito since na-solve ko naman na siya. So, sabi, evaluate each of the following and express with SI unit. Wait na, nasa yung pointer ko? It'll be a lot easier for you to follow pala pag may pointer, ano? Can I change yung color ng pointer? Nice. Pointer. Seems I cannot change it. So anyway, so evaluate each of the following and express with SI units having an appropriate prefix. Okay, so evaluate further. So basically, hindi pa sila nakasimplify. And usually, hindi niya, usually he wants, ayan, let's have the answer in 3 significant figures. Ren, ako dinagdag ko na lang to. Pero si Hibler, hindi niya nilalagay yan. Kaya parang minsan, sobrang expanded ng answers nyo. Tama naman, pero sa kanya, pinaliit niya lang. Okay, for example, here, 50 millinewtons times 6 giganewtons. For now, medyo weird bakit natin pinag-multiply to, pero at the end of the day, this is just an exercise of multiplying numerical values with their following prefixes and their equivalent exponential value. That's a mouthful, pero ang ibig sabihin lang naman nila is ito. So for example, 50 millinewton to 6 giganewton. There's another way to write this. It's 50 times 10 to the raised to negative third power, and then times 6 and times 10 raised to the 9th power. So if you're still familiar with your basic algebra and exponents, you know na you can multiply 50 and 6 together, and you would add yung exponents. Negative 3 plus 9 will yield you 6, 10 raised to 6 power. So yun. Technically, since 3 significant figures naman, technically satisfiable na yung answer na to. 300, pero malagay do, 300 meganewton squared, technically. Pero, na nakita ko sa example ni Hibler, kinonvert niya pa into kilonewton squared, kaya matitira dyan is 300 kilonewton squared na lang. Which, mas maganda nga naman kasi walang meganewton. Well, actually meron, pero sobrang bihira. Okay? So again, I have less of this sa exam kasi sobrang ambiguous niya and I don't want to leave room for error rin eh. So if ever man magbibigay ng ganito, well, on other problems, it's very specific and then it's mostly direct substitution na lang rin eh. Okay? Unless otherwise alam kong kaya nyong i-derive yun. Okay? So, the same method na gagawin natin with others eh. So, sinabi niya express with SI units. Remember yung rule sa SI, ito, meron tayo sa C na naka-divide. And meron rin tayo sa B na may exponents eh. So, yung sa B muna, ganun rin. Kalat natin ganyan and then express it muna in scientific notation niya. So, ito yung iniisip ko, okay, so proper significant figures could be gigameter Newton squared or uh, or or uh, or meter mega Newton squared. So, yun yung dalawang tinitingnan kong route dyan. So, yun yung sagot ko. Yan yung una kong equation. Then, of course, naka-square to, so you have to both square them. Notice, naka-n squared to, pati yung exponent. Kasi naka-express na yung exponent na siya. As a unit yan, ha? And then, you multiply them, just like so, and then, there we go, that's 1. And then, there's another version. Yeah. Pero kung titignan mo, mas maganda tignan yung 144 gigameter Newton square kasi yung 0.4144. Okay? Hence, and it's one of the reasons bakit inabandon ko yung unang seat work for this kasi sobrang ambiguous niya. So I have to run it through lang yun. And besides, lesson 1 is just an exercise. It's just you warming up lang naman. Okay? At least on the succeeding lessons, it's far more specific yung ask. We'll be dealing with a lot of multiplication and addition ng vectors. Okay? And primarily, mas importante yung analysis ng direction dun eh. Where you are, ano yung mga units mo, how would it balance out eh. Okay? Next. So yung C naman, so yung rules ng SI, preferably there's no prefix dapat sa denominator eh, since naka 45 meganewton cube to over 900 gigagrams. So meron siyang prefix dito. The goal is, let's try to eliminate yung gigagrams na yun and convert it to its SI, preferred SI natin. In this case, not exactly gram kasi sobrang base unit pero kilogram. Okay? So we express it we express it again in yeah, so there yun. Not typical SI, usual SI. So medyo arbitrary siya, no? Kaya inabandon ko yung seat work eh. Anyway, it's just an exercise lang naman eh. So, ang ginawa ko, in-express ko in its exponent form. And then, yung gram, kung mapapansin nyo, nagkaroon ng, kung titignan nyo, sir, bakit ganyan? 10 to the 6 yun. Akala ko ba giga is 10 to the 9. Tama kayo doon. Pero, kung mapapansin nyo, yung gram ko naging kilogram. Medyo nag-skip ako ng process dito, ng step dito. Eh. So, mangyayari nito, yung 1,000 grams na multiply ko dito, binaba ko, magiging 10 to the negative 3 power. So, magiging 10 to the 6 yan. Okay? Ay, sorry. 1,000 grams dito, which is 10 to the third grams. Pag binaba mo yun, so magiging 10. Pag ginawa mo yung reciprocal, 10 to the negative third power. So, yan. Mababawasan yung 10 to the 9 power mo into 10 to the 6. Which will give you this answer. Okay? Wait lang. Baka may question na hindi ko pala nakikita. Okay, wala. So far, so good. So I think ito yung last ng ano neto. And then I think yung next neto is problem sets. Eh, no? I hope nakapagsagot kayo ng problem sets, nakapag-practice kayo, even though may mga equations na doon. Now may mga errors doon, and if you spot yung errors, thank you. Na-edit ko na for most. And then i-update ko na yung sa Canva. If meron pa doon, at least na highly note nyo na yung error. Pero makikita naman natin dito. Okay, let me just switch lang yung let me just end yung slide na to and discard yung annotations. Actually, I wanna keep it na lang and save. Save. Wait lang, bakit ilan ba yung general principles ko dito? General principles. Documents, USD file, statics. Save. Replace. Okay, so close ko na yan. And then, share ko yung screen ulit. We're headed towards for more problem solving. There we go. Okay, and share screen. Yes, may final answers po sa, yeah. Ah, wait, ano? Sir, are there, sorry, ano yung question ulit? Wait lang wait lang. Hide. So, sir, are there final answers po sa exercises for checking? Dun sa binigay ko, at least for all three modules, meron. Just like so. Okay?
Thank you po, sir. Sorry, hindi ko po napansin.
No problem. Yung isang set, yung end of slide dun sa lecture 1, wala. Para at least, alam mo yun, bigyan mo yung sarili mo ng challenge eh. Pero na-realize ko sa lesson 1, especially yung when I'm answering yung parang converted to yung SI form. So parang hindi exactly specific kung anong gusto niyang form eh, no? Ang mahalaga lang we're following yung rules ng SI na una, walang prefix sa denominator. Pangalawa, trying to express it into its simpler form to what, 3 or 4 significant figures, especially kung merong values. Yeah. So hindi specific si Hibler doon pagdating doon, pero kung mapapansin nyo towards yung latter samples, ito yung parang nakasanayan natin with physics problem, with mathematics problem na may scenario based eh. So this is parang purely mental exercise kumbaga. So naglalaro lang tayo, okay, ganito yung units niya, kailangan niya mag-cancel. So literal warm up siya, okay? Meron akong nakitang chat dito, MEC officer. Ito po sir, you can add na lang po dito para na naman yung message sabi. Wait lang, sige. Okay, so let's proceed. I'm still recording and good. So, yung first problem natin dito is what is the weight in newtons on object that has a mass of 8 kilogram, 0.04 kilogram, 760 megagram. So, this is pretty much basic to. This is the kind of questions na gusto kong ilagay kasi sa exam kasi super brownie points. Kasi, ano man, dali lang eh, diretso ng conversion. Or, pwede kong baliktarin lang, convert mo tong weight na to into its appropriate mass eh. Okay? And then we have yung another type of problem which is kaya inabandon ko yung seat work na yan kasi represent each of the following combinations units in its correct SI form. So, puro denominator na may prefixes to. So, kailangan lang i-simplify siya and expand yung exponents niya. And then finally, it's almost the same variation ng 1-3 is yung 1-5. Okay, it's a lot more easier to understand kasi ang kulang lang ditong instruction is make this into 4 or 3 significant figures. Okay? So, let's do it. With number 1, madali lang to. So, we know na weight is equals to pen. We know na yung weight is equals to mass times G. And I'm pretty sure with your thermodynamics class, sometimes you have yung K constant or yung proportionality constant. Okay? And we'll be using that in a while, or at least a sample of it in a while. Okay? Okay, that was fast. Akala ko, okay, paisa-isa siya. Pero basically, yung multiply mo lang siya sa acceleration due to gravity. Yung ginagamit ko is 9.8066. By the way, nakalimutan ko yung period dito, or hindi lang nag-copy. Okay, 78.45 newtons. Doon naman sa 0.04, multiply by 9.806, 0.392. Doon naman sa 760 megagrams, ang ginawa ko is in-expand ko muna, exponent form, and then convert ko yung grams to kilograms kasi ang base unit ng Newton, if you all recall, is also kilogram meter per second squared. Hence, conversion ko from gram to kilogram. Okay? So kilogram, dikit niya sa meters per second squared. You have 7.4 million newtons. It's kind of big, so pwede mo siyang i-express in this form, 7.45 mega newtons. Okay? Next one is yung represent each of the following combinations units in the correct SI form. Okay, well, let's just run through lang dito. Okay, that was fast. So, in-express ko lang muna in its exponent forms. Not sure kung medyo kita sa screen, pero maliit sa screen nyo. So, ang ginawa ko is 10 to the 6 megagrams, milliseconds, so 10 to the negative third power. So, 10 to the negative third power is also 1 over 10 raised to 3. So, dilipat to sa taas. And then, magiging 10. Using yung rules ng exponents, you just add them up. Magiging 10 to the 9. So, ang unit niya magiging gigagrams per second. Final unit, express unit. For B, ganun rin. So, meron tayong prefix sa denominator. So, we aim na tanggalin siya. So, ang ginawa lang natin, in-express natin 10 to the negative third power, yung millimeter, and then we use yung reciprocal niya, binato sa numerator, magiging 10 to the third newtons. So, magiging may 1,000 newtons ka doon, which is also equal to 1 kilonewton meter. 1 kilonewton yung 1,000 newtons. Okay, and then finally, yung C, millinewton divided by the product ng kilogram and microsecond. So, kilogram, okay lang siya as a prefix sa denominator according sa SI rules natin, if you recall. And then, pero meron tayong microseconds. Ang base unit ng time natin is just seconds. So, tanggalin natin yung micro. Okay? So, meron tayong 10 to the, millinewton is 10 to the negative third power. And then, kilogram natin sa baba, 10 to the negative 6. Get the reciprocal, transfer mo sa baba, so meron ka ng 10 to the negative third plus 6, and you have what we call 10 to the third power ng newton, so meron ka rin 1,000 newtons, equivalent to 1 kilonewton. Okay? So far, so good. Madali lang siya, di ba? And then dito naman, okay, medyo sinorcut ko yan. Divide ko lang yung essentially kasi ang ginawa ko dito na ma-represent each of the following as a number between 0.1 and 1,000 using its appropriate prefix eh. Okay, so sumobra to ng 1,000 and 0.1. So, ang ginawa lang naman dito, nag-skip lang ako ng step dito. Obviously, ito, you can still turn into 45.32 10 to the third. And then, meron tayong kilonewton pa dito. So, 10 to the third newton. So, by rules ng exponents, 10 to the third plus, so 3 plus 3, 6, 10 to the 10 raised to 6 will be meganewtons. Okay? Okay, medyo mabilis ng konti. Pero so, meron tayong 568. Ito yung binigay sa akin. Times 10 raised to the 5th millimeter. So, hindi pa siya completely simplified. So, what do? We express muna yung 10, yung millimeter into its exponents form and then simplify yung exponents na yon. We have 56,800 meters or, mas maganda nga naman tignan, 56.8 kilometers. Okay? Next, Alright, so 0.00563 naman milligram. So, sorry, dapat ito nilagay ko dito sa baba para dire-diretso. So, huwag nyo gayahin doon. Kailangan organize yung pagsosolve nyo. So, yung 0.00563, technically, pwede mo rin siya i-convert to 5.63 times 10 to the negative third power. Okay, sobrang crappy ng and laggy ng tablet. Okay? So, hence ito yon. Okay? Ito na lang pansinin nyo. And then, of course, this is milli. So, that's 10 raised to negative 3. All you have to do na lang is apply yung rules ng exponents. You will have 10 raised to negative 6, which is also microgram. Micro. And then, gram. Okay? Oh, wow. Uh, let me just erase. Can I still erase this? I don't think so, no? Ganun pala yung pag-kinip ko. Damn it. Eh, So anyway, sige, patungan natin. Hindi ko natanggal. So ito yung unang error ko. Kulang ako ng isang zero dito. So that's the product if hindi mo siya ni-review ulit. Okay, even though nakuha mo yung final answer, tama yung process mo, nagkulang ka ng isang zero sa decimal mo. Okay? So, yun yung potential errors doon. Okay? So, ito magiging 0.431 dapat. Okay? Okay, so ito pang error to, nakalagay ko lang dito 1 Newton eh. So, again, ang tanong natin dito is correct SI form and uses appropriate prefix naman, ano? And ang kulang dito is yung make sure to keep it in 3 significant figures, parang ganon. Okay, so wala si Hibler nun. Okay, lalagay ko yun, okay? In this case, so 35.3 times 10 raised to 3 Newton. So, magiging 35,300 yan. Divide natin to its appropriate newtons para makuha natin yung prefix. So, magiging 35.3 kilonewtons. Next up naman is 0.00532 kilometers. So, pag convert natin naman siya in its appropriate prefix naman, pero not actually it doesn't make sense na ito yung kilometers eh. So we know na 1 kilometer is 10 raised to 3 meters, magiging 5.32 meters lang eh. It doesn't make sense to describe 5 meters into 5 meters worth of distance into a kilometer eh. So 5.32 is yung way to go. Okay, so with number 9 naman, we're here with simplifying again yung mga uh, yung mga units nito into its correct SI form and using appropriate prefix lang. Okay? So for letter A, we have meters per millisecond. So we express that again in, exponents lang. Just like so, magiging kilometer per second yan. Reciprocal, may reciprocal to. And then babato natin sa taas, so may 1,000 meters and then equals 1 kilometer. Ito naman, microkilometer, dali lang, 10 raised to negative 6 and then may naka-kilometer ka pa dito. So 10 raised to third power, nakalimutan ko lang yung meter dito. So you apply yung rules ng exponents na magiging 10 raised to negative 3 meters. So magiging millimeter. Then lastly, yung kilosecond per milligram. So, ang ginawa ko dito, ang base unit natin for mass would be kilogram. And then, ang ginawa ko, kinonvert ko yung gram ko to kilogram dito. So, meron akong kilo dito, 10 raised to 3. And then, meron tayong milli tayo. Meron tayong milli dito. 10 raised to negative 3. Pero in between dito, kinonvert ko na yung gram to kilogram. So, nag-times 1,000 ako dito or equivalent to 10 raised to the third power. Pero binaba ko lang rin. Okay. Either way, parehas na naman yun kasi kinuha ko lang naman yung reciprocal. Hence, nagkakaroon ako ng 10 to the 9th and then magiging gigasecond siya. Either way, kahit hindi ko siya ibaba, 10 to the third, iangat ko pa rin naman yung 10 raised to negative 3 dito. And mag-add yung tatlong 3 na exponents. 3 plus 3 plus 3 would be 9. So, gigasecond per kilogram. And then finally, kilometer, the product of kilometer and micronewtons. So, express it in a much more correct SI form. So, yeah. So micronewtons not so much kasi yung Newton itself is kind of big na eh. Usually either it's Newton or kilonewton lang which is acceptable. So ang ginawa natin is we express this in exponent form and then we simplify it. Ang adjust na lang natin is yung meters eh. So millimeter Newton. Okay. So sayang. Okay. Wait lang. Meron ba akong anyway, nandyan na, nag-stuck na eh. na nakip ko yung mga notations ko. Dapat ko pala hindi ko kinip eh. Anyway, so medyo weird yung first five problems doon kasi it's primarily exercise lang naman eh. Pero when you see yung 116, 117, okay, this feels familiar na. This is where yung application na of canceling units. This is the application where I convert yung proper units to its next equivalent from SI to English or vice versa. Okay? And baka tanungin nyo ako when it comes to problem solving, sir, kailangan ba namin kabisaduhin yung mga conversions? Not all, pero yung at least yung mga basics. Okay? Ano ba yung mga basic? Yung mga usual na ginagamit, 1 kilogram to pounds, 1 pounds to newtons, 1 slug to kilograms, just in case lang naman. Okay? 1 meter to feet, feet to meter, vice versa. 1 yard to feet, or 1 yard to meters. Either way, you have your calculator. Meron namang conversion dun. So, technically, hindi kayo walang excuse para hindi nyo makabisado do. Pero pag parati yung kasing ginagamit, eventually makakabisado nyo. Okay? Pero sometimes to make your life a lot easier, maglalagay ako ng mga additional units dito, additional details. Like, okay, hey, additional details, 1 pound force nga pala is 4.448 newtons. Hey, 1 slug nga pala is 14.59 kilograms, you know. Okay? Is that okay with you guys? Okay pa kayo, guys? Okay, good. So, sige. So, we have a problem dito. It's all about pressure naman, okay? Pagdating sa pressure, usually ang ginagamit in metric is Pascal or SI Pascal, which is also 1 Newton per meter squared. We're being asked two things dito. One is convert daw yung 1 Pascal or 1 Newton meter squared to pound force feet squared. And next question naman, at atmospheric pressure, yung standard pressure natin is at 14.7 pound force per inch squared. Okay? And gusto naman niya i-convert to into pascals or Newton per meter squared. Okay? Or sometimes, as appropriate yung kilopascal at standard kasi ganun siya kalaki eh. So, anong gagawin natin dito? So, we just lay it down lang naman. 1 Pascal, 1 Newton meter squared. Alam na natin yung patungo. So, i-direct conversion na lang natin. So, all we have to do lang is lay down yung equation. 1 Pascal, 1 meter squared. Then, yung atmospheric pressure daw, we find yung given na yun. So, we're here to find yung pascals and then vice versa. And then, we execute. So, we know yung 1 pound force is 4.448 newtons. Cancel kagad yan. Cancel. And now, all it's left na lang is yung meter squared. Now, we know on our previous exercises na 1 feet is 0.348 meters. Pero this time, naka-square siya. So, kailangan nating i-square rin yan. Which would give us 0.0286 pound force per feet squared. Or in this case, 20.9. Kaso, English to. So, no prefix. Okay, pero acceptable na sa akin to pag English. And the next problem is, gusto naman niya yung 14.7. So, So, anyway, nilagay ko lang dyan. Yung 14.7 pound force per inch squared. So, makikita nyo, sometimes I use yung parentheses to separate yung numerical value ko with the actual units. And sometimes pinapasok ko lang sila sa loob eh. Anyway, that's my own way of organizing things lang naman. So, makikita mo dito, alam natin yung pound force, magiging Newton, 4.448, multiply lang yan. And then, of course, meron tayong inch. Ang requirement natin is Newton per Newton per meter squared. So, yung inch, gagawin nating meter. So, alam natin yung inch to feet. Isi-square rin natin yan. Kasi alam natin 1 feet is 12 inches. Pero naka-square siya, so isi-square rin natin yan. So, ang kakalabasan mo dyan is feet squared. So, alam rin natin yung 1 feet to meters, which is 0.348. So, ang mangyayari dyan is isi-square pa rin natin yan. So, magka-cancel out yung feet squared, dito. Inch squared, cancel dito. Ang matitira mo is meter squared. So, magiging sagot mo in Newton meter squared or aka Pascal, 101,000 something, something, something. Or, mas magandang tignan, kasi usually ginagamit natin for fluid mechanics and thermodynamics, especially sa mga stinyo, is usually 1 kPa. Now, ewan ko lang kung na-discuss sa inyo nila Sir Alvira nyo or ni Ma'am Cheska nyo, usually pag sinabing standard pressure and conditions, okay, usually may specific temperature tayo. Pag sinabing standard T, merong absolute temperature tayo, absolute Kelvin yun. Anyway, that's a different topic. Pero pag sinabing at pressure at sea level, so atmospheric pressure, that could mean 1 atmosphere is also 101.325 kPa. Yun yung ginagamit natin usually. Then pag English naman, usually ang ginagamit ko is ginagamit namin nun 6.96 pounds per inch squared. Okay, naglalag yung tablet ko pag nagre-record pala via hard drive. Hindi sumasabay yung nahihirapan yung ano ko, yung graphics pati yung processor ko. Anyway, so far so good naman eh. Okay? Let me just clear this out. Questions? Sige, if ever man, let's discuss it on Thursday, okay? Okay, so for 117 naman, we know na meron tayong given na density of 1.94 slug per feet cube. Okay? Huwag nyo nang pansinin muna yung naka-overlay dyan. Hindi ko na matanggal eh. Okay, so what is the density expressed in SI units? We know very well na slug is again, yung kaninang exercise natin, is a unit of mass sa English. So, pag i-convert natin, ibibigay natin siya in SI form, that will be kilograms. So, alam natin kagad ng kilogram yun. And yung feet cube, magiging meter cube. Okay? So, yan. Mass, kilogram, feet cube, yan. So, yan. Usually, yung ginagamit nating density units, it's gram per cm cube and then kilogram per meter cube. Now, density is one of the common fluid properties na meron tayo among other properties na meron siya. And usually, yung mga properties na yun, they have their own definitions and they have their own appropriate units na. Like, for example, stress. You know, pag stress, ang usual unit natin pag metric is Newton per meter squared. Pascals yun. Ganun rin eh. Ganun rin for pressure, Newton per meter squared, Pascal or kilopascal. So, pwede mo na i-scale yun. When we're talking about weight, we're talking about pound force. When we're talking about, when we're talking about length or displacement, we're talking about in meters. So, and sometimes positive or negative yun, which indicates direction. Okay? So, very important lang, especially for thermodynamics, meron kang mga specific terms doon. For example, pag sinabi nating temperature at nilagay natin doon deg-C or absolute temperature, pag sinabi mong absolute temperature, kailangan naka-express in Kelvin. Okay, that's a unit of temperature. Pag sinabi, and then yun yung metric, and then meron naman yung Rankine. That's for English. So, usually degrees Celsius, and then nagpapalit kayo ng degrees Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. So, metric, English. See, yung appropriate terms na ginagamit natin in engineering to find yung equation yun, they have its appropriate units. So, make sure na parang naka-associate lagi sa yun. Okay, pag nakita mo, ito yung enthalpy. Ano yung unit na ginagamit dito? And ano yung basic, ano yung symbol? And then, ano yung unit na ginagamit natin dito? Hindi ko sasabihin muna kasi spoil ko yung thermodynamics nyo eh. Okay? So, this is me trying to connect yung mga second year subjects nyo towards yung fourth year nyo, okay? Every now and then. So, okay, let's run. Kasi alam na natin one slug is 14.59. So, we just oh my god. We just run yung equation lang na yan. So, 1.94 slug, we know na, ba't inulit ko? Pero sige. So, multiply natin siya by 14.59 para ma-cancel yung slug. Cancel. And then, ang matitira na lang is feet cube. Again, alam natin yung feet cube. Alam natin yung feet to meters. So, ano yung feet to meters? 1 feet, 0.3048. Or, pwede nyo rin gawin yung long method eh. That's up to you if you're comfortable with that. Pero ako, shortcut ko na lang. Same way with 1 hour to 3,600 seconds. Okay? So ang sagot dito is 1,000 kilogram per meter cube, which is yung usual na units ng yung default ng density. And when you reach fluid mechanics, we always be dealing it. We're always gonna be comparing yung fluid against density against water. Okay, so usually density ng water 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. We don't use in 10 megagrams per meter cube. So, sinulat ko lang kasi pag binasa niyo yung libro, 10 megagrams yung gusto ni Hibler. Fine, sige. Ikaw yung author ng book, siya na yung magaling. Okay? Alright, hindi ko na rin natanggal yung mga annotations dito. So, pagpasensya na may mga scribble siya ng konti. But it will make sense mamaya. Okay? So ito naman, this is the kind of exercise na gusto ko kasi parang it not only, it not only trains you in terms of problem solving, but it makes you think and ask, okay, it makes you ask na kailangan ko ba i-solve lahat to numerically? Sometimes common sense lang pwede na yung answer, I'm referring to yung question sa E. So yung problem na to has two parts. We're being asked to know yung mass ng tao na nag-weigh ng 155 pounds. So yung kung sino yung sumagot kanina ng yung as we have discussed earlier, pounds is usually associated with weight, and weight is also a kind of force. Okay? It is a force. Okay? And nakatali siya sa acceleration due to gravity ng Earth. Okay? Ngayon, tinatanong tayo kung ano naman yung mass. Remember, mass in slugs and mass in kilograms and weight in newtons. If you were to solve this, sino nakaisip na, pwede ko naman pala i-convert yung pounds to slugs na lang kasi alam ko yung 1 slug is 14.59 kilograms, and then alam ko yung 1 pound is 1 kilogram is 2.204 pounds. Sino yung nung nakita niyo yung problem, yun yung gagawin ko. By raise on hands. Kindly raise your hand lang. Anyone? No? I'm not saying it's wrong. Technically, tama rin kasi you would yield technically the same results as I would. However, just like writing in English lang, meron tayong grammar rules . So, it's nice to know lang may nangyayaring in between . Remember, pound force is not equal to pound mass. Why? One is force, one is mass. Same way with kilogram force is not equal to kilogram mass. Hence, pa nagko-convert tayo ng 1 kilogram to pounds, this is pound mass. Okay? And hence, na-discuss na sa inyo yung proportionality. Hence, importante yung proportionality constant. So, wait lang. Let's play out yung equation. Kung paano natin gagawin yun. Okay? Yeah. There we go. So, next. So, given, we have man, 155 pounds. Okay. So, there we go. May kulang lang ako dito nilagay. So, usually, ito na yung, wait lang, mas magandang, ito yung K. Okay? Yan yung K. Ito yung pound force. Okay? Remember, ewan ko lang kung na-discuss na yun sa thermodynamics na. So, weight, sometimes, ganyan, i-represent K, or sometimes K. Okay? So, ito yung proportionality constant to. Why? Kailangan ko makancel yung pound force ko into pound mass. Saka ko pa lang siya pwedeng i-convert na yung pound mass na yun into kilograms. Pero, yeah. So, wait, let's run it down lang ulit. Mass in slugs. Wait lang, burahin ko nga lang muna yan. Wait lang. Okay, erase muna natin to. Medyo magulo. Yeah. So, there you go. Kung makikita nyo, pen. Yeah, kung makikita nyo, may kulang lang ako dito. Again, may pound force dito. And then usually pound force yan . So, kailangan lang kasi mawala yung unit dito. Kung makikita nyo, magka-cancel out naman rin naman talaga to 32. Pero ang importante kasi, when you're showing it in paper, whether you do it straightforward or not, it's nice to know lang na you know that there's a process in between that's happening para maging tama yung conversion ng units. Pero, if you're talking about speed, heck, you can diretso mo na convert eh. Kasi eventually magka-cancel out rin naman eh. Okay, so pound force mawawala yan. Feet squared per second squared, feet per second squared mawawala yan. So matitira is pound mass. And then from here, now you can convert yung pound mass to kilograms. So 1 kilogram, 3.204 pounds. Okay? And then yan, magka-cancel na yung pound mass. Yung kilogram gagawin nating slug. So kilogram. One slug is 14.59 and then you have 4.819. Now, sino dito yung nakakuha ng 4.819 without doing this? O yung nag-practice kayo, sino dito, just raise your hand lang dyan. If you've done it without using yung overly solved or overly equated equation na to. None? Come on, guys. Remember, past participation, active recall, sometimes requires to be vocal. Okay? Anyone? Class rep. Ayan na, ikaw, nag-practice ka ba ng ganito? Hindi pa.
Sir, di po ako umabot dyan.
Ay, hindi ka pa umabot dyan. Marami bang di umabot dito? Nasanay na po kasi sa term na need i-cancel yung cake. Tama ka naman dun actually. And tama ka na dapat masanay ka. So, kung nasasanay ka na, meaning mentally, it's already in your head. Nasa muscle memory mo na rin yan. Intuitively, alam mo na may nangyayaring cancellation ng units dun. Okay? Actually, tinanong, I made sure to talk to Sir Almira nyo and Cheska just in case align kami. So, tama. But then again, this is just one version ng case. So, sinabi ko, English lang yung pinakita ko. And I believe you guys have way other conversion units nito. No? Meron kayong sa metric eh. Diba? Okay? So, next naman is mass to kilograms naman. Technically, from here pa lang nakuha nyo na yung kilograms. Pero ako ang ginawa ko, nagsimula ulit ako sa 155 yata dito eh. Huwag na pansinin yan. Yan. So, yan. M-man. So, nagsimula ako 155. Again, ginawa ko ulit yon pound. Yung cancellation ng units via K. Okay. So, yan. There we go. And then, kung makikita nyo, weight over GK, weight times O over G, that's the K yan. And then eventually convert ko na lang diretso to kilograms. So 70.3 kilograms. Okay? And then next is yung weight ng man naman in newtons. Padali lang yan. Pwede mong gamitin yung 155 or yung 70.3. So, 150, pag 70.3 ginamit nyo, times 9.8 lang yan. Pag pound force yung ginamit nyo, multiply nyo by 4.448 lang. Huwag yung pansinin yun to. Sobrahan lang ako dyan. Usually yun yung direct. Okay? Na yan, yung kalahati naman ng problem, ito ginamit ko yung ratio lang ng 5.3 versus yung acceleration due to gravity natin sa Earth, which is 32.174 feet per second squared. So, yung weight mo ng moon, usually kaya minsan nagkukwento sila pag nanonood kayo ng documentary from NASA, your weight here on Earth is 1/6 in moon. Parang ganun. So, 5.3 over 32. There you go. 25.52. I wonder if there's another way. Mass never change naman, pero acceleration due to gravity does. So, pag ginamit mo yung acceleration due to gravity ng moon, mass times G, kaso naka-kilograms ako. So, kailangan ko siya i-convert to pound mass of 155. Hindi rin eh. Anyway, so yun yung sagot ko dyan, 25.512. I believe yun rin yung sagot ni Hivler kasi nakatali yung weight mo sa acceleration due to gravity ng planeta ang ginagalaw. Or in this case, moon. Next up is Okay, obviously yung question na yun, yung mass in kilogram, what's his mass in kilograms naman on the moon? Technically, it's still the same thing. Okay? Five point three times 0.348. 1.6 times 70.3 divided by 4.44. Yep. Yeah. So, any questions? Or hindi kayo satisfied sa pag-solve dun sa D? So, ito ginawa ko ratio eh. Pero, there's another way actually of doing this eh. You already have yung mass mo. Mass never changes eh. Kasi it is your full quantity eh. And we know yung weight. Lagyan natin weight ng moon. Mass mo is constant. So, 70.3 ka sa Earth. 70.3 ka rin sa moon. And yung acceleration due to gravity. However, ang mass natin na alam is yung in metric, 70.3 kilograms. Eh, para maging... Okay? So, ang ginawa ko is, ito kinonvert ko. So, meron kang 5.3. Wow, wait lang ah. Bakit ganun? Sobrang pangit eh. 5.3 feet second squared. Wow. Wait lang. Bakit ganun dito? Burahin ko nga lang ah. Okay lang. Can I do a whiteboard kaya dito? Anyway, dito na lang. So, let's go here lang saglit. Okay? So, what mg? We have 70.3. Alam na natin yan. Kasi inisip ko baka di kayo satisfied eh. And then may feet second squared. So obviously ito kinonvert ko into meters per second squared, which is 5.3 lang naman times 0.0348. So, ang ginawa ko is around 1.615 siya. 1.615 meters per second squared. Then, of course, ang mangyayari dito, ang resulting mo is newtons. So ang mangyayari ng 1.615 times 70.3, meron kang, anong sagot? 113.565 newtons. Kasi kilogram meters per second squared. Eh, na yun, di-divide natin siya to 4.448. Sorry, medyo pangit na. Which would give you 25.5. Hindi ko na pinansin yung 31 doon eh. So pretty much the same pa rin naman eh. Konti lang yung difference. Questions? Okay. If you have further questions, that's pretty much... discard. This time I'm gonna discard this. If you have further questions doon, feel free to... Wait lang, let me stop recording.